Welcome everyone. The topic for the day is reviewing safety guidelines instruction. We'll tell you about the various instruction that has been meted out in various the best practices in the organizations and the company worldwide. So this presentations or the video, I would request all my audiences to watch the videos very clearly. It is much of a pictographical representation and it gives you an idea what I want to convey, and it will register if you watch it very closely. Remember, there are safety rules which is always prescribed in an organization or any organization for that matter. But there are many organizations which I'll actually say says the motto of being safety first. So they will say safety first, but then the question arises: why are there so many accidents still? If safety rules, safety first is the motto. Sadly, people do not follow those instructions. In real life, people actually um, make themselves a sorry picture altogether. Believe me or not, following the rules may actually save your day. Better be safe than being sorry. Or should I say, precaution is definitely many a times better than prevention. So what do you do about it? We'll talk about the various pointers that comes around into the things. First and foremost thing is to conduct yourself in a responsible fashion at all times. Wear the safety goggles that comes around here. We will be talking about the pointers one by one. Follow the written and verbal instruction as been given, as been mentioned by your supervisors. That needs to be understood. Then we have other things like do not touch equipment, supplies, animals, other materials without the permission that needs to be taken. This is what we are looking at it. We are probably in a pharmaceutical department. You are working with an animals. Do not touch it as on when on basis. Perform all your experiments. Perform all your work with with the under the supervisions of somebody else. Please understand, it doesn't make sense if an accident has already altogether. Never ever eat, drink, gum, taste anything in uh, any of the facilities where you are working around it. For consuming food, you have designated areas that comes around. Please follow meticulously. Keep your hands away from your face. Keep your hands away from your eyes. Keep your hands away from your mouth while working. While working, this is what is a must thing. And definitely wash your hands as much as possible before leaving the. Wear safety goggles, personal protective equipment when instructed. This is something which is mandatory. Never ever remove your safety glasses, your goggles, or any of your PPE during any of your work environment. That needs to be taken care for. So there are no exception to this rules. Absolutely, PPE is must if you are in a work environment together. Keep your work areas absolutely clean. Do not make a mess out of it. Do not make a mess out of it as been given in this picture graphs altogether. Absolutely spick and spine. Follow definitive housekeeping. So we will talk about any accidents if there are, if things have been gone around it, if there are any accident in terms of fire, in terms of spillage of chemicals, breakages, leakages, injuries, cut, burn, hazardous condition, faulty, broken. Please contact with your supervisor and the fire safety officers immediately. It is a must. Consider all chemicals works in a workspace to be dangerous. Please understand, this is a must. If you can make a sacrosanct rule that all chemicals that you are handling is dangerous, you will be always be on your toes to not remind you not to touch, smell chemicals unless and until specifically instructed. Handle all employees with care and respect. Absolutely, everybody has the dignity. Follow them meticulously. We need to follow all the as mentioned in the standard operating procedure. If we don't follow them, it is going to lead to mishaps. mishaps in terms of breakages as far as equipment are concerned, mishaps in terms of injuries the person is concerned. So never open a storage cabinet or enter a restricted areas without the permission of the supervisor. This is something which we believe is a must, because in the sense of making an adventure, it results in a misadventure in you. So why take such kind of risk altogether? Always seek permission, always seek information before venturing any places which is restricted. Do not remove the chemical equipment, supplies, other resources from work areas without the permission of the supervisor. This people hardly adhere to, as if they will let them intimate their supervisor later on, and so on and so forth. They don't find it is anything which is illegal or unethical. But on the long run, all accidents are only waiting to happen, and they are looking for a chance to make it forth. Look what a wonderful example that comes around you. You have the dustpan, you have the brush, and you are collecting your broken glasses thereby. Use extreme caution when using machine, matches, burners, hot plate. Extreme caution with any equipment. And if you're not properly trained or exposed to that equipment prior to it, you should always take the help of somebody else. Only light burners when instructed, and do not put anything in the flames unless specifically instructed. This needs to be understood time and again. Do not leave a burner. Dress properly. Obviously, long hair must be tied, no dangling jewelries, no loose baggy clothing. Wear absolutely closed-toed shoes and aprons and goggles as on when on instruction. We have given you the pictographs, as well as goggles, the gloves, the lab coats, the shoes. That is a mandatory requirement for your safety. Learn when the safety equipment is located, where it is located, how to utilize this, what to do in case you do not know how to utilize it, whom to inform it. Know the evacuation plan, the emergency door, the fire drills. This is a must that needs to be taken. Safety procedures, a solid knowledge of the safety procedures may actually help in saving someone's life one day, someday, and I'm sure definitively about it. Remember, this is what we are looking at it. Now, the fire triangle. What is the fire triangle that comes around it? We are talking about it in terms of oxygen, fuel, and heat. So these are the three things that comes around for causing the fires. We require an oxygen, we require fuel or combustible element, or the higher temperature that look into it. Can we eliminate any one of them and the fire will go out? We can eliminate the oxygen, probably with a foam. Can we eliminate the fuel? Definitely there is nothing contents to be burned around it. Or can we eliminate the temperature? Once the temperature has been eliminated altogether, fire will automatically stop. So what is your responses? In cases of small fire, take action by putting water or use a fire extinguisher. If dangerous, please understand this is where you will have to pull the fire alarm, evacuate. One of the best method that I would love to recommend all and everyone, and call a particular number in cases this is available from different countries in a different number, and that is the only reason why I wanted to call the authorities. It might be 911 in certain countries, it might be 100 in certain countries, it might be 111 in some countries. Every country would demarcate a fire station number which is common and unilateral across the length and the country. What happens when there is a wet chemical spill on you? First and foremost thing is this: you will have to clean the spill. Take a flash of waters every 15 minutes, absolutely for it. Ensure that all your chemicals residues are removed from your skin. Get paramedics to help you, sir. If required, call somebody. The numbers that I have been trying to tell it to you, every country would be giving you certain emergencies numbers which are to be notified or mentioned in any of the notice boards out there. In case if you've swallowed a chemical, be it a wet chemical or a dry chemical, treat for the shock. First and foremost thing, be in a upright position. This is an upright position that comes around it. Get paramedics to help you out. Call the numbers and clean up the spill as far as possible. What happens when the cleaning up of the chemical on the counter flows? If required, ask your instructor for the small spills. Large ones, get help. Stay away. Remember, wet things would be covered with all the kitty litters and the sand waste, sand bucket from the fire bucket altogether. So this is what we are looking into it. We have to understand what is it we are looking. Sweep up, flush the area, and if the hazardous fumes are still present out there, better run away, evacuate as far as possible, as fast as possible. So you need to understand what needs to be done. In cases of small things, you can always do it yourself. In cases of both wet and dry, sweep, dispose of with a double plastic bags. In cases it is flush or a wash off area, absolutely clear it off. And if there are still presence of any remnants that you come around it, please evacuate immediately. Electrical short, this is what actually happens. This is what is the arc electricity that comes around it, and people might get affected. Turn off the electrical connection immediately. Treat for the shock. Please make the person calm down. Get paramedics to help you, and definitely call the emergency numbers that is prevalent in your respective countries, as I have already said in this particular session. Biological hazard is the major cause of inspection. Why? And this is what it can be done. Wash me in the hand. People actually do not take quite hygienic steps in terms of cleaning their hands. In fact, cleaning their hands would eliminate a few million deaths across the globe every year. That's one thing which I'm very sure about here. So after every exposures in your shift that comes around it, please clean your hand. Use proper PPE kits in terms of goggles, apron, long pant, clothes, toe shoes, and so on and so forth. Next would be clean lab surfaces regularly with disinfectant. Regularly means regularly that comes around it. And once you have done it, nothing. With this, I come to an end of this presentation. Thank you for watching this video.